we're going to begin by talking about the digestive system. So be on the page with the digestive system.
Was a creepy woman eating a creepy piece of pizza?
That's not a woman.
I didn't say it was.
You said creepy woman.
It's a something, okay? But anyway, look at the top of the page. Okay. So when you're talking about the digestive system, of course it occurs in two ways. The first is chemical digestion, which you follow along with me and write in the boxes as I go. Chemical. And then we're going to give the definition of that there. And then we're going to talk about the mechanical digestion. Okay, so chemical digestion and mechanical digestion. We're going to get to that in just a few moments, okay? Now, well, let's go ahead and do that, and then we'll move into the process. So chemical digestion occurs when, actually, what occurs first, technically?
Mechanical.
Mechanical. And why they put, anyway, why they put chemical first, I don't know, but I didn't make it up. I'm just using it. But we will talk about mechanical first. So what happens with mechanical digestion? Someone raise your hand and tell me what mechanical digestion is.
The body physically breaks down food materials with muscles and bones and things.
Yep, it's when the food.
Because you're a scientist.
It's when the food is crushed or grounded into smaller pieces. Or ground into smaller pieces.
What does the box on the chemical digestion say?
It just says chemical digestion. We haven't filled in the definition. The food has to be broken down into smaller pieces before it can be digested any further. Okay? So mechanical digestion is when the food is sort of crushed up and broken down into smaller pieces. When it is broken down into smaller pieces, it uses chemicals and enzymes to continue with digestion. So chemical digestion uses chemicals and enzymes to aid in the digestion. Okay? Now, let's look at our little man here, okay? So, first of all, we know we have a mouth, right? And the mouth okay, right here is his mouth. And that is where the food enters, right? Yeah. That's a no-brainer, right? Our food enters our mouth. Okay? Now, then what happens? So the food, of course, we know that when the food enters the mouth, our teeth begins to grind and begins to work. And then we have what we call What is this?
Salivary glands.
Salivary glands. Yep. Now, what do these salivary glands do?
Produce saliva.
Yep. Which begins the chemical digestion. Okay, you might have to write a little small, and that's what really begins the chemical digestion, because the saliva aids in that chemical digestion. All right, now, when you swallow that food, it moves down through what?
The esophagus.
Esophagus. E-S-O-P-H-A-G-U-S. And you know, that is a smooth muscle that contracts to help pass, you know, the food down further, of course, now into your beautiful stomach. Okay? This is your stomach. Down in here. See what's in this stomach? Jolly Ranchers, hot fries, apple, pizza.
I could eat healthily.
Mm-hmm. And you do?
Nope. Not that unhealthy.
Mm-hmm. Just picking. All right. So it passes down through the valve into the stomach, and then the food is ground a little further with a pasty substance called chyme, which we're not going to write that down here, but you just need to make sure you're aware of that, and you will see that on your test and things like that. Now, yes, this test will be Friday. Okay?
Sorry, I didn't know.
That's okay. Now, this doesn't go into talking about the pancreas, which I wish it did, but it does not. But the pancreas also produces some form of enzymes that aid in digestion as well. And then your liver performs a function, and then your gallbladder. But then this particular diagram talks and shows you the small intestines. Okay? And then you have your large intestines. So the remaining undigested food enters into the large intestines, or is commonly called the colon. Okay? What is its primary function? What's the large intestine's primary function?
To remove the last water and last nutrients.
To absorb.
Waste.
To absorb water and nutrients. Am I right? Let me see.
You are.
Yep, actually it's minerals. Water and minerals is what the book says. It's to absorb water and minerals. Okay? And then it goes down through the rectum, and then it's expelled through the anus. Okay? Pretty brief description, but anyway, just so you know. Okay? Now let's go on next one. This is our excretory system, which removes waste. Yes. We know that the main purpose of the excretory system is to remove waste, bodily waste. We know that if our body did not remove that waste, then we could set up sepsis and get infection and things like that. Okay? Now, we're going to discuss how excretion occurs, basically. And well, actually, we're going to talk about the kidneys, and the ureter and the urethra. But each kidney, inside the kidney, we talked about this, has about 1 million nephrons. And those nephrons inside your kidneys filters, actually it filters the blood. Sort of like a cleaning process, you know what I mean? Sort of like a cleaning process. So this is your beautiful, let's give it a nice color.
How about purple?
Oh, I've had a lot of purple.
All love purple.
I know you did. It's your favorite color.
Mine too.
Not.
All right, so this is your beautiful kidneys.
Colors pastel pink.
Okay? So you have a kidney here and a kidney here, right? Typically you have 2 kidneys. I have 1. Okay? Typically you have 2 kidneys. For some unknown reason, I had to have surgery, and they found that I have 1 kidney that is just non-functioning.
Men used to
It's
dress
just
in
withered.
pink. It was thought to be the more manly color, so saying pink is a girl color doesn't make any sense.
So they don't know if that happened as I grew, or if I was born that way. So, but typically people have 2 kidneys. You can live without 1. I'm a living example. Okay. Now, what do our kidneys do? Well, they filter waste in the blood. So kidneys, you see here, is a nice little diagram. So typically, as our book tells us here, that the water contains many dissolved substances, and that water flows along the nephron tubule. Well, let's just talk about this, okay? So the urine from the nephrons, where are the nephrons? I've already told you. Where are they at? In the kidneys. So the urine from the nephrons collects in the kidneys and then passes through the ureter, okay? Which they've got it over here. U-R-E-T-E-R, okay? It's a funneled filter fluid to the bladder, okay? All right, you have, very good. All right, so you have your ureters, and then you have your bladder right here. I've always thought the bladder, actually your right bladder here, unless you want to write it on the bladder. I've always thought the bladder sort of resembles a heart, upside down. I mean, not an upside, but like a heart. And then once it filters there and it comes to the bladder, then the urine is held in the bladder until it can be removed. That's when we hold our urine. When we need to go to the restroom, we hold it there in our bladder. And then it is expelled through a tube called the urethra. U-R-E-T-H-R-A. What stores the urine? The bladder. Okay? What expels the urine? The urethra. And the kidneys filter the blood. Pretty basic outline, but I wanted to go through the diagram so you can use it and keep it in your life science book. Everyone has completed 14C. Due to trying to extend this chapter out through the rest of the week, that is all I have for today. Because tomorrow we will start our study guide and we will be reviewing for 2 days, and then we'll take this test on Friday. Okay?